its magnitude in racing are usually reserved for late fall, with the championship or Horse of the Year honors hanging in the balance. But in today's 77th edition of the Santa Anita Handicap, it's an encore of racing's next great rivalry.
They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Last November, right here at Santa Anita, Bob Baffert's Game On Dude had Horse of the Year honors in his sights.
In the lead as they come to the top of the stretch. Game On Dude is all out.
But instead, he was a witness to one of the great stretch duels in recent memory. Today, it's the Classic Part 2, a chance for history for Game On Dude and Mucho Macho Man, and will take charge head-to-head one more time next on the Jockey Club Tour on Fox. Welcome to historic Santa Anita Park, 20 miles northeast of Los Angeles in Arcadia, California, a venue with one of the most breathtaking backdrops in the entire country. On a weekend where we turn the clocks forward, we have a race reminiscent of the past of the glory days in the sport of kings. Hello, everybody, and welcome to stop number 2 on the Jockey Club Tour on Fox. Greg Wolf, along with former Eclipse Award-winning jockey Richard Migliore. Mig, we have a race today that has been the most anticipated big cap in over a quarter of a century, all because of who showed up.
Well, you have the two first-place finishers, second-place finisher in the Breeders' Cup Classic, the beaten favorite from the Breeders' Cup Classic. This race has the earmarks for one of the best horse races we're going to see all year, and it comes early in the year.
Time now to meet the third member of our team with 3 things you need to know about today's big cap. That's Andy Serling.
Mucho Macho Man loves Santa Anita, running his best 3 races at this track. Will take charge. He's the 3-year-old champion. Will they be running quick enough early for his late kick to be most effective? And finally, Game On Dude, a 2-time champion of the Santa Anita Handicap. Has he lost a step back to the front side?
That is the big question mark for today's big cap, no doubt. We take a look at some of the great rivalries in sports over the years. Aladorn affirmed, no question, the best in horse racing. Bob Baffert said today's race was like a heavyweight title fight, so appropriate to put Frazier and Ali in there. And the king, LeBron James, he's the 2-time reigning NBA champ. Durant still looking for that first title, so that's appropriate as well. And now this is becoming the next great rivalry as well. We'll take charge, and Mucho Macho Man, Mig Macho Man took that first matchup back at the Breeders' Cup Classic. When we talk about this race, though, it is a handicap. What does that mean for those who don't know?
Well, they try to handicap the horses, meaning they put more weight on a horse to try to get everybody at the wire together. It would be like if Usain Bolt had to break 5 lengths behind a field running. They're trying to bring them to the wire together. Yeah,
essentially leveling that playing field, or maybe making LeBron wear a jersey with sleeves. Wait, they tried that, and it didn't stop him, did it? He still scored 61 points. All right. A little later on, the 3 of us will go head-to-head in the Express Bet Betting Challenge. We'll each have a virtual bankroll of $100. All winnings will go to the Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation, funding the research to let horses of all breeds live healthier lives. You can play along at home. Just go to expressbet.com. So we've talked about the big 3. Andy, what's another horse we should look out for today?
You want to find a long shot? Maybe you want to look at Blingo, who won the prep for this, the San Antonio. And, of course, he has great connections in John Sheriff's and the Mosses of Zenyatta fame. But is he good enough to beat the big 3? It's a big challenge, Greg.
All right, we're going to get social on Twitter. Go to @ABRLive and use the hashtag AskAndy. And you can ask our own Andy Serling questions about this race or about horse racing in general. Coming up, will it be Mucho Macho Man, or will take charge the speedy Game On Dude, or a long shot who takes the big cap? We'll be back with a post break when the Jockey Club Tour on Fox continues. We're back at Santa Anita Park, a racetrack as beautiful as it is historic. And today, the track known as the Great Race Place has become the even greater race place.
I think Santa Anita is an iconic sporting venue, not only in Southern California, but in the United States. We've done many things for many audiences. We've greatly improved the food and beverage offerings. We have craft beers, we have wines, we have sushi bars, we have salad bars, things that have never been heard for before at a racing venue. And finally, we have our magnificently restored Chandelier Room, which is one of the great younger venues in all of sports. We never rest, we never sleep. There's many more things to do, but we're excited with what we've built so far.
Truly one of the most beautiful venues, not just in racing, but in all of sport. We are approaching the 8-minute mark to post here for this race coming up, Mig. As we look at the odds here in just a moment, very strange right now. You have Blingo, who Andy talked about earlier on the board, the 3-horse, who won that San Antonio on the board at 28-1, and then Game On Dude is at 5-1. He's the controlling speed of the race.
Yeah, tactically has a huge edge. I'm very surprised to see Game On Dude at 5-1.
It's time for the post parade for the big cap. During the post parade, when you see the Keeneland logo next to a horse's name, it means that horse was a graduate of the Keeneland sales in Lexington, Kentucky. We will begin with the reigning 3-year-old champion. That is Will Take Charge, his comeback race we saw here on Fox Sports 1. That second place finish to Lee in the Don Handicap.
He looks great on the track. He's sharp. Expect him to lay a little closer than normal. I don't think he'll be far away from Mucho Macho Man.
Your Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Mucho Macho Man, he was a nose better than Will Take Charge in that race.
He's extremely composed. He has the air of confidence about him. He knows he's the horse to beat.
Even money on the board. Blingo, he put up a career-best performance last time out, beating Game On Dude in the San Antonio.
And you can never count John Sheriff's out, especially here in Southern California. If he gets any pace to run at, he will be coming late.
Long Shot Imperative is the 4-horse Cantasormo rides, and he ran huge in just his second try on dirt last start.
Arguably the best horse in the San Antonio. The question is, can he put 2 races like that back-to-back?
Jerry Hollendorfer will send out Rousing Sermon, the 5-horse. His only other try at 1.25 miles was a troubled 8th in the 2012 Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I don't know that he wants a 1.25 miles, and he's deserving of the 65-1 odds that he's at right now.
Well, another long shot who's at 85-1 on the board right now. That's American Blend, sent out by Carla Gaines and facing real tough company here today.
He was third, but a well-beaten third in that San Antonio, the prep for this. He's going to have to step his game up big to have an impact at the finish.
Game On Dude, we're surprised by the price. He's at 5-1, looking to become the first ever 3-time winner of this race.
Yeah, and Game On Dude, if he finds his A game today, he's going to be tough, and he has a huge tactical advantage under Mike Smith. He should be the controlling speed.
And here the Ghost will round out the field. The 8-horse in here, another one for Jerry Hollendorfer. Joel Rosario on board. He was highly regarded as a 3-year-old last year.
I think as the distances got longer, he kind of started to peter out. I'd like to see him on a turnback, but he could have speed today.
So let's take a look at the odds as they stand right now. We're approaching the 5-minute mark to post, and it is even money on Mucho Macho Man. Surprised at all?
No, I'm not surprised. He's good at this track. Gary Stevens, he's a hometown favorite as well as a Hall of Fame jockey. Mucho Macho Man is very much the horse to beat.
Oh, the trainers are essentially the coaches of these horses. Let's hear now from the conditioners, beginning with the trainer of Will Take Charge, the man they call the coach, Dwayne Lucas.
Well, he's done really well. We couldn't be more pleased with the way he's settled in. He's made the trip. He's getting to be a pro.
He's such a good horse. He comes out of the gate and always breaks on top or really close to on top, and then I think Gary can place him wherever he wants to. And he just, I don't see him having a problem with anything. No matter what happens, I'm sure he can get him to where he needs to be.
The fact that you've got almost beyond 1/4 mile before you get to that turn, I think it'll sort out pretty good.
Dwayne Lucas, he won this race back in 1991 with Farm Away. He'll try and do it again with a horse who was on the board at 3-2. Let's check in with Andy one more time.
Honor to be joined by the trainer of Game On Dude, Bob Baffer. Are you looking forward to this opportunity to put his Breeders' Cup behind you?
Yes, we're just, Game On Dude. We're looking for hopefully to get the lead, an easy lead, without having to struggle for it. Last time he had to struggle for it. It didn't work out for him, but the pace is all it makes the race for Game On Dude. He needs that lead going into the first turn, uncontested lead. And if for some reason that's when he runs his best races.
You're hoping that Mike can maybe get him over as opposed to the stalking trip that he had in the Breeders' Cup.
No, Breeders' Cup, you throw it out. You just have to move on. But today, hopefully we're the speed of the race. I hope, you're hoping that nobody goes with him. And so that's the whole key of the race is the first 1/4 mile will tell it.
Well, anything he's shown you on the way to the track that's given you even more encouragement?
Well, he looked good. I mean, he wasn't as tight, you know, like I should have had him. And he went extremely fast last time. But, I mean, today, I mean, the way he's trained up to it, he looks like I don't see anything him, you know, taking a step back. But, you know, he's in pretty tough, but he's doing well.
Great, Bob. Well, good luck, and thanks a lot for joining us. Let's go back down to the front.
So does Game On Dude still have his A game? We're going to find out in just a little bit. He's a 7-time winner on this racetrack. Time now for the Express Bet Betting Challenge. Again, all proceeds will go to the Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation. I'm going to wind up with Mucho Macho Man in here. I think he's the best horse in the race. He won the Breeders' Cup Classic. He came back this year, romped by 14 lengths. Gary Stevens said he actually shut him down inside the 16th pole. I'll put 50 to win on him and play a $25 exacta, keying him on top.
Well, I'm kind of guy to go along with you. I see this as a virtual replay of the Breeders' Cup Classic. I see it as Mucho Macho Man fending off Will Take Charge late, so I'm going to hedge a little bit. I'm going to make a $50 exacta box. If either one of them run 1-2, I'm good.
Andy, where are you going to wind up?
I'm taking the other side of Migliori. I'm looking for the 2-speed number. I'm looking for Game On Dude to Mucho Macho Man to be 1-2 around the racetrack, and I'm making a $50 exacta box, 2-7.
Let's take a look at some of the rich history of the Big Cap presented by Equibase. And when we come back, it will be the showdown we've been waiting for, the 77th running of the Santa Anita Handicap. Throughout the years, the very best have come to Santa Anita for the race they call the Big Cap. The world-famous Seabiscuit ran his final race in the 1940 Big Cap in front of 78,000 adoring fans, a performance that was later immortalized on the silver screen. In 1979, Triple Crown winner Affirm set a track record in this race. 1988 saw one of the more memorable Breeders' Cup rematches as the venerable Ali Sheba avenged his defeat in the Classic by nipping Ferdinand by just half a length. But most recently, it was Game On Dude defending his home turf in last year's edition, becoming the Big Cap's 4th repeat champion. We're back on the Jockey Club Tour on Fox, getting ready for post time for the 77th running of the Big Cap. Hall of Famer Gary Stevens, he has won this race 4 times before, and he will ride today. Mucho Macho Man, your current 6-5 favorite. Here's Gary Stevens' thoughts on today's race.
I'm going to do the same thing that I've done with in the previous 3 times that I've ridden him, get him away from the gate as clean as I can. He's a very good gate horse. He actually broke in front in the Breeders' Cup, and that's one of the big assets with this horse is I can turn him on and off like a light switch. In other words, I can use him at the start, slow him down when I need to, and kind of get the other horses committed to what I'm going to do. And, you know, I'm going to ride him like he's the best horse in the race.
Well, Gary Stevens tweeted earlier this week, this is the Breeders' Cup in March. It certainly feels like it. His friend and fellow Hall of Famer Mike Smith will be on Game On Dude. Here's his thoughts.
Last time, as soon as the horses got around him, he just kind of, body language wasn't, you know, he just kind of folded, you know. And he was tired, though. He pulled up blowing pretty good. He felt fine. Since then, he's been training really well. We've stepped it up on him a bit. And he's taking it, and he's doing real good this time, and he actually looks a lot better this time. So I'd be really surprised if he didn't go out there at least run a big race. And if he runs his A race, then he belongs with anybody.
Well, Mig, that's the big question mark today. Will Game On Dude bring his A race? Does he still have it in him?
Well, I want to see it. I haven't seen it since last year in the Pacific Classic when he was ridden very hard by Martin Garcia through the stretch. It may have taken him a long time to get over that race.
Andy, quickly, too, as we look at the odds here as we load up, where's the best value on the board right now?
Value on Game On Dude at 7-2. Mike Smith's going to look to cut over at the start, and 7-2 may look like the value of the century.
Meanwhile, Will Take Charge down on the inside at 3-2. He's the second choice in the race. It is time for the 77th running of the Big Cap. Let's go upstairs to Trevor Denman.
Bingo, going in
call.
this time. Gary Stevens now bringing Mucho Macho Man up, goes straight in. Imperative and Kentosormo loaded. Game On Dude went straight in. They've loaded quickly. Here the Ghost, the last one. Here the Ghost goes in. Gates closed, all set. Feel for the Santa Anita Handicap, sent on their way to a good beginning. On the inside, Mucho Macho Man broke beautifully, but so did Game On Dude. So Game On Dude will go on to lead them early. Mucho Macho Man taken back into second. Here the Ghost on the outside. Will Take Charge is settled into the 4 spot, 4 lengths off the leaders. Then there's another gap of 4 back to Imperative. American Blend, Bling goes inside of that. And Rousing Sermon, the early trailer, gives them 10 lengths start. Into the turn they go, and Game On Dude out where he likes to be, showing the way. Game On Dude by a length now. Here the Ghost went a little wide into the turn, but is right there in second. 2 lengths back to Mucho Macho Man, a very comfortable third. He's 4 lengths off the leader. Just in behind that comes Will Take Charge, who's now getting a little closer to Mucho Macho Man as they move on to the back stretch. A gap of 4 back to Imperative, then American Blend. Blingo's still a good 8 lengths off the leaders, and 2 more to Rousing Sermon. They head to the half mile in the big cap, and it is Mike Smith and Game On Dude, a length and a half, but Mucho Macho Man moving in early today. Mucho Macho Man goes to take on Game On Dude, and will take charge on the far side. This is the race we've been waiting for. The 3 stars line up as they pass the 3-8. Game On Dude goes on with it. Game On Dude's finding more. Mucho Macho Man will take charge on the far side. Imperative running on 4th. Here's the turn for home in the big one. Game On Dude goes on for home. Game On Dude the leader. Will take charge. Mucho Macho Man's done. He can find no more. Game On Dude the leader. Will take charge chasing. Game On Dude leads him. Game On Dude gonna find his way into the history books. Game On Dude and Mike Smith have won the Santa Anita Handicap. Will take charge was second. Blingo was third. Then Mucho Macho Man. Here the Ghost. Behind that, Rousing Sermon, Imperative, and American Blend ran last.
Game On Dude makes history, the first horse ever to win 3 big caps, and boy, did he bring his A game today, Mig.
Boy, did he ever. This was a tour de force, and 158. He just ran them off their feet at every point of call, and I can guess you could say Game On Dude is back in a big way.
That is 1 tick off the track record in this race that was set by Spectacular Bid.
And I mean, just the accomplishment, 3 big caps, and I personally thought he might be done. Well, he's 7 years old, and he's just as good, if not better than ever.
And Mike Smith, who was put on this horse last year, it was a great union between these two, and they're showing that they still have it. What a performance, and a 3rd big cap victory, and now a horse who's proven it, hey, he's still a major player in the handicap division.
Well, he stepped right back into the Horse of the Year picture in March here with that performance. You're not going to see a horse run that far, that fast. He never relented. His stride never deteriorated, and this was a very, very impressive performance.
So stakes record for Game On Dude as we take another look here in the stretch, and Will Take Charge was coming to him, but you mentioned me earlier in the race. Mucho Macho Man, his hand was forced a little bit.
Will Take Charge moved early after him. He was right in the game, right outside of Mucho Macho Man, but I think the key to this race was Mike Smith let his horse bounce along. He used his weapon, his speed, and he ran them off their feet.
Bob Baffert collects a 5th win in the big cap. Game On Dude, a 3rd for him. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Back on the Jockey Club Tour on Fox, and it is Game On Dude, a stakes record performance in the 77th edition of the Big Cap. Mike Smith giving thanks, and what a performance, Mig. He was tackled early as well by Here the Ghost.
He was. Here the Ghost chewed on him early, but then when the 2 contenders, Mucho Macho Man and Will Take Charge, came to him, Mike Smith let out a notch, and when they had to work so hard to stay with him, he basically pulled the rug on him here on the turn. And this is what your best riders do, and this is why they're in the Hall of Fame. They allow good horses to flaunt their speed, and this was an absolute great performance. I was wrong. I didn't think he had this left in him.
Well, Mike Smith has said beforehand, he's just got to show up. He said if he doesn't, I can go as slow as I want, as fast as I want. It doesn't matter. He actually did go pretty fast early, didn't he?
Well, I think sometimes riders get hung up slowing horses down too much, allowing horses into the race. Mike said, you know what, my horse is fast. They're going to get dizzy chasing me, and that's exactly what happened.
So Mike Smith, Bob Baffert, and Game On Dude, who's owned in part by Joe Torre, collect a huge victory in the premier race for older horses here on the West Coast in the Big Cap. Game On Dude returns $9.60, and for a horse going in that we knew would have the tactical advantage, it's a great return.
That's a great return. I think Andy Sterling said it best. He was a big overlay at 7-2.
So Game On Dude will take charge in Blingo, your trifecta that comes back $95.80. Meanwhile, how did we do in our Express Bet betting challenge? All proceeds go to the Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation as we get a look there at the winner's circle, and that is a crowded group that are very happy right now. We know Bob Baffert said this would mean a little bit more than most to him because all that was said bad about Game On Dude, but there it is. We got some work to do.
We definitely have some work to do. I feel so bad. I think I'm going to just make a check out to the Grayson Jockey Club Research.
I think we might have to. We'll have to step up our game a little bit. We are going to give them $500 because we did not do our job, so we will contribute to the Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation, and we will try and hold up our end of the bargain on our next broadcast. So a brilliant performance. Let's go to the winner's circle presented by historic Keeneland Racecourse. Andy?
Well, Bob, how satisfying was this?
Well, I'm really happy for the horse because he deserved it. Everybody was sort of, he was down for the count, and I was playing it sort of quiet coming up to. I knew he was doing really well, and he needs to have that kind of trip where he set sail, and when he turned for home, you could tell the dude was there, and he ran the kind of race he wanted.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks a lot for your time, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, it's Monster Energy Supercross live from Daytona. We'll see you March 29th with the Dubai World Cup. It was Game On Dude in the Big Cap for Andy Sir.